So, did you get attacked by any dogs recently?
As a matter of fact, yes, I did.
What?
Funny
might
you
have.
should mention that. But that's okay, though. I'm getting treated for rabies, so no foaming at the mouth.
Well, I always knew you were riddled with something, just never thought it'd be rabies.
Well, it's
Yeah.
definitely infectious and doesn't really go away, but, it is what it is.
Oh, shit. Are we live?
Always.
Always. Well, you're going to have to tell us the story when we come back from our intro. All right, here we
If
go.
I have to.
Yes, you do. Okay, here we go. I'm glad you like our music.
I'm dancing. I'm
See
dancing.
You don't look like someone that got attacked by a pit bull.
I'm just that good.
Are you okay?
I got a little something up here on my forehead.
Yeah.
It's healed up. So I've had it's my healing factors kicked in. So there's a couple little holes in my arm, no big deal. So
I'm glad you followed it up with in your arm.
Yeah, well, my head too, but that's a whole other thing.
That's a whole other story.
Yeah.
How are you doing today, Josh?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm excited. We have another great interview lined up with some creators because we love to support our artists. So this is going to be a lot of fun. But before we bring in our guests, I have some housekeeping that I need to do.
Of course. Jeez.
I'm doing it in my 1950s style cherry dress. So let's get this going. First of all, we officially have a Patreon page. So that has officially been launched. And so if you go to patreon.com/popmyculture, we have 3 different tiers that you can pick from. And I was very shocked to see that immediately we got a Patreon the moment we launched it.
You can't count yourself. Jeez.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
God, some people. I bet you like all of your posts, don't you? Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
I used to. But no. Well, first and foremost, I want to thank Scott and Kim of Used and Abused, who are part of the Red 5 network, which is what we're a part of. They were our very first patron. And then slowly after that,
we forgive them for making that mistake. We do.
Come on.
What? No, thank you.
You're supposed to be building us up, not tearing us down.
I am. I'm building us up by tearing us down.
Jesus.
Well, we only know how high we can go when we've seen how low we can be. So
can I get to our other patrons?
I don't know.
Please?
Can you?
Yes, because they all paid to have their names shouted out.
Shout it!
So Kelly, our cruise director of Red 5 Network, is also a supporter. We have Kristen Roscom, who, if you don't know who that is, she is the wife of Jason, the co-host of Sidebar Cantina. Our good friend Thousandth Ghost of the Monkey Lizard Army, and Steve Long, who is one half of Rebel Rock Radio. So thank you guys. Your swag is already in the mail.
Thank you.
I really, really appreciate it. So with that being said, are we ready to bring in our guests?
And I've been ready. I don't know what you're doing.
You know what? Next time you run the fucking show. See how that goes. You can start everything. All right. So we have Dalton, Shannon, and Wells Thompson. They are co-creators of what you see in our backgrounds right now, which is called Depths. And let's go ahead and bring them both in. Hi, guys. And Kitty, which makes me very happy as an animal lover.
You entered the show like a Bond villain. Well,
that was the idea.
I dig it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So welcome to Pop My Culture.
Thanks for having us.
You
weren't kidding when you said it was colorful.
The whole
we have
rainbow.
no filter. Yeah, no, we have no filter on this show. We literally have a segment called the Sticky Spot. So,
oh, that's great.
I can see Dalton regretting saying yes to this show in his eyes.
We give splats, Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah. think it's
No, we like to have fun.
Absolutely.
So, you guys are the co-creator of the graphic novel Depths, a graphic novel about grief and underwater survival. I gotta say that is quite the title, and I want to know like how those two things coincide. So if you want to just give us a little bit of background on this graphic novel, that'd be great.
Yeah. Well, I think
I
most
know
people
one
would
of
be
you.
pretty depressed it does wound up underwater for 3
it
years.
does. Yeah, it does seem like they go hand in hand, really.
Yeah, it weighs pretty heavy on the soul. But no, Depths came about from depression, and it was actually it got off the ground thanks to teamwork and actually building a partnership as well as it's our first collaborative project, going all the way back like 8 years or so. So we might just be launching it right now, but it's really the first thing we ever really worked on. But yeah, Depths is about a guy who gets trapped underwater in a diving suit for 3 years and has to find a way to just get up every day and keep moving. And if and when he gets home, like it's heavy sometimes.
Well, I mean, I do tend to find graphic novels to usually be a little bit on the heavier side anyway, so I kind of anticipated that.
Mhm.
And the setting is it's deep, you know. I mean, like
No pun intended.
Took
but
no
Yeah.
time at
no,
all
no,
to get
no,
there.
Intend
sorry,
the puns.
but
Embrace your puns.
You got to. I'm loving it. But no, it's the whole idea of just being trapped underwater is frankly, it petrifies me. I used to have nightmares as a child of being in my apartment, but it was filled with water, and I was trying to swim up to the top floor to get out, but the stairs just went into the ceiling, and then I'm just like panicked trying to get out. And so the whole idea of a character being trapped underwater for 3 years like that, I mean, it's such a desolate space. I mean, it feels like walking through a graveyard almost. It's creepy.
So this would be therapy for you then.
Sorry,
Shannon,
it
'cause-
would
you went
It will
deep
be.
on that one. Oh, deep.
No, I think that was very much the intent. Was
Yeah.
this was sort of us visualizing and creating a space where we have been sort of metaphorically and spiritually for a lot of our lives, and we wanted to kind of literalize that in a way, and that idea of being trapped underwater was just so magnetic from the beginning. We knew we had to dig into it and explore what we could do. And we're really proud of the result. We think this novel is great.
Yeah, no. I was actually looking, we were looking at the Kickstarter campaign, which we'll show here in a second. And I was actually just telling Josh before you guys came into the green room how much I loved the artwork. I think the artwork is actually absolutely beautiful, which leads me to ask, are you both the artists, or is one of
No.
you the artistic one?
Absolutely no one wants to read a book drawn by either of us. Now, the artist is a gentleman by the name of Jay Sheik. He's an art professor out of Idaho, and just a really great guy. Just a phenomenal talent. We being like in the indie comic sphere, we just know a lot of artists and a lot of potential collaborators. There we go. And we knew we wanted something a little bit more grounded, a little bit more visually evocative of this could be really happening. And Jay's style just perfectly matched that.
Well,
Yeah.
in the imagery that I've seen, there's a lot of empty space, so it really gives you that impression of isolation. And I kind of wanted to ask you guys, like, you were talking about how depression inspired this, and the last few years have been pretty depressing for a lot of people. And with lockdown, there was definitely some feelings of isolation. Would you guys say these things influenced the direction of the story at all for you, or was this something you had in mind from the start?
Yeah, it was a bit earlier than lockdown.
Yeah, I mean, because
when
it
we
was
came
8
up
years,
with-
you said.
Yeah.
What we're saying is we're visionaries. We were depressed before
Before
everyone went into lockdown.
Before it was cool to be
Yeah.
depressed, you
Yeah.
guys were depressed.
No,
That's
we were
awesome.
ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Oh god, thank God we were ahead of the curve on that one.
Oh my god.
Patient zero right here.
Yeah.
We couldn't have made TikTok.
Starting
We
a
had to be
trend.
depressed. Like,
Not-
There you go.
No, I don't know how much all of that bled into the final work. We've been kind of sitting on the story for a little bit now.
Mm-hmm.
So it was basically wrapped up before all of that hit the fan, but it might be a bit of a lie to say it's not bleeding through in the fresh edits we're giving it, the passes now. The, like, what is this? Probably the 20th draft of everything. Like,
Oh, wow.
I'm
Oh,
exaggerating, but like
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
lot of drafts. So yeah, there's no way that all of that doesn't influence everyone's art a little
Yeah,
bit
of
going
course.
forward. Yeah.
Oh, I would imagine, yeah.
Well, it's definitely something that I would probably want to read and can relate to, because I'm
Mhm.
definitely in the same boat as you guys. Unfortunately, have suffered for a very long time, so this would probably be right up my alley. But I guess in a good way, this also advocates, for mental health and stuff like that. So hopefully this will make people feel actually less alone to read about someone who
For
is
sure.
all alone in the depths of the ocean.
That's the
For
hope.
sure, and that's kind of the whole point.
Yeah.
And like what you said is like it is very isolating, like this character is, but like literally what he's going through is an inherently isolating experience, and people going through it, I think the best thing that we can do for them as storytellers is to say, hey, you're not alone. This affects more people than just you, not in a like a get over it kind of way, just in a it's okay to reach out, and it's okay to feel this way, and there are people who can relate to you, and you just have to be willing to try and go out and find it, which can be a battle in and of itself. But if we can encourage that, then then this novel has done its job.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, obviously, you said it is dark. So, but would you say in the end it is meant to be a somewhat inspiring or uplifting tale, or is it
No,
more just about wallowing in the misery?
I don't know how to tell
depths
a
of it.
wallowing story.
Yeah.
No. If I ended a book on a bad ending, I probably didn't write it, honestly. We've done short stories where we get to play with the form, and you get to end those on some cool cliffhangers and things. But like,
downer
if you're
beats.
some downer beats, but they're genre. They're meant to be a brief little synapse. But no, when we're working on a larger story, I think it's always important to show like you can't just like present the problem and then just like, and that's the story. Like I always have to be like, no, this may not be a solution, but at least it's a way to go forward, and it's a way to find the silver linings throughout. So yeah, I mean, no spoilers, but like no story I write has a bad ending.
Okay, so you're not Stephen King. Okay, great.
He's
He's known to have horrible endings, unfortunately.
I wouldn't be doing Kickstarter if I was Stephen King. Like, let's be
This
real.
is true.
True.
Hey, you never know. Stranger
God.
things have
You
happened.
gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. So you guys said you've been developing this like over 8 years, and obviously editing and stuff like that. So is that the reason why the Kickstarter is only happening now, or were there other things getting in the way of getting this, off the ground?
It was a lot of factors. I mean, one of the first things anyone will advise you to do when you're like going out to start making stuff, particularly comics, is like, don't go out and be like, I'm going to pitch my, 12 arc superhero story that takes place over 196 issues. And, maybe one day you'll get to make that. But if you try and go out of the gate with that, you're going to crash and burn hard. Start with something small and then build outward and outward. And we knew that this project was big, not quite that big, but very large, and needed room to breathe. And that if we went out onto the scene and said, hey, we need $20,000 to make a 112-page graphic novel, we would have been laughed out of the room. So
yeah,
started off, we made shorts that we compiled into an anthology, Descent into Dread. And then we kind of use the notoriety from that, or lack thereof, to go into Kickstarter and start to develop an audience there. We have 2 ongoing series, as a way of saying, hey, yeah, we can, we know how to tell a story, and now that we've kind of built that trust, we're trying to lean into our bigger projects, one at a time, obviously. But
Right.
yeah, this is one we've wanted to tell from the beginning. It's just it hasn't been the right time until now. It also helps, as you said, like, quarantine happened, everyone sort of got put into this situation. So I think this is become a story that was already like widely, people could have related to it, and now it feels extremely specific to what a lot of people have been through.
No,
it does.
absolutely.
It really does. I mean, one of the things that I kept saying, while we were on lockdown and stuff like that is, for someone like me who suffers and has, anxiety and stuff like that, for me, this was actually a walk in the park, to tell you the truth, because I enjoyed being in my own little bubble. But for those who have never experienced it, never suffered from it, and now being put into this forced situation of having to be isolated, can't leave your house and can't do the things that they love to do, it was kind of like, well, now you can kind of put yourself in, my shoes and see what it's really like. And I do hope that people will now read this and really be able to relate to it now.
Fingers crossed. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't want anybody to suffer. It sucks.
I mean,
I don't wish what I have on anybody.
Once the book's done, my hands are clean of it. It's up to you guys if you relate to it or not. I can just hope that it happens.
Well, I'll bring things back to Brand. Is there any sex? So.
Well, there is an octopus in it, so
tentacles. Okay, well, everybody loves tentacles. It's okay.
That's true. It's true.
It's okay. They
You'd
go
be
all kinds of
surprised
places.
how many tangents we get on shows about hentai because we have an octopus.
Well, I mean, what are you gonna do?
And a giant squid.
It's only natural to ask about it.
It's true. It's only natural. No,
that's what they're there questions. For. Yeah.
I think there is one scene of kicking someone out of bed.
That's about
in like chapter 2 or 3 that I get a kick out of every time. But yeah, no, it doesn't lean too heavily into sex, mostly because those
no time for it. You got time for that.
But everybody's getting wet. Come on now.
One man gets
no,
wet.
You're right.
Well,
the sequel.
No mermaids.
You
could have finally seen how that happens.
Feeling the depths. That's the sequel.
Actually, in Descent into Dread, which was, as I mentioned earlier, our horror anthology that's sort of comprised of a bunch of different shorts that we made. We featured these characters in an 8-page short that had mermaids in it, and they were terrifying mermaids, and had their tits out. That was
well, there you go.
Equal.
There
it was
win-win.
it was not a pleasant sight, but it was technically there. So we're fitting in with the branding. All right.
Yeah, there you go. You're good. So, would you say that this also has a lot of horror elements in it overall, or is that just a part of the story?
Existential terror. I wouldn't say like straight horror.
This isn't a horror.
There are monsters, and there are situations. There's the kind of ever present specter of environmental hostility, which arguably makes for better horror than any of the jump scares do. But
it's true.
But it's not like 100%. When saying that, it makes it sound almost like it's a Silent Hill 2 scenario where there's like really oppressive atmosphere, and there is, but I think it's less that and more just like I'm trying to think of a good example. Like, I don't know, The Martian. It's more of a survival story than it is and sort of the horror is there in the abstract, but it isn't beating on the door in the same way that a true blue
Michael
horror.
Myers is.
Yeah, Michael Myers
right.
is literally.
There are
There's a
elements of
comparison to
fear,
Martian.
but it's not. No. Which would add to the idea of isolation, and it totally makes sense. Okay.
So
now, well, sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
no,
Ladies
please.
first.
No.
Okay.
I'll go. Dalton, when you visualize it, no.
Would you guys say that there were any, books or other comics or films that influenced you as far as the direction you wanted to take this?
I
I don't believe in
watching
influences. Yeah, we
we had the same thought.
we just created
Okay.
vacuums. That's all we
I
do.
don't watch.
Yeah.
I don't watch TV.
Don't watch
This is a
anything, no.
graphic opera that takes place over. Sorry, just throwing shade at a recent Eisner controversy. No, yeah. I mean, I'm very much into the sad boy lit, so you know, there's flavors of like Rime of the Ancient Mariner and Great Gatsby and sort of you know, classic lit kind of sprinkled throughout. Oddly enough, I would say probably the graphic novel Seconds is like the closest analog, like the biggest influence that I was experiencing when I was writing this. I don't remember exactly the timeline of when I read it versus when we started writing this, but that book had a big impact on me, and similarly kind of features a character that is lost and isolated in their own specific way, and uses some magical realist shenanigans to upset the balance of things, and has to kind of find the right path. Plus, it's just a beautiful graphic novel and moves me to this day. So there's that. There's the obvious influences, like I said, The Martian, the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. You know, and truthfully, a big part of why this book is so appealing to me is the setting and sort of the lack of explored territory. There's a lot of stories about, you know, being lost in space and sort of the same premise, but you're out.
There's literally a TV show called Lost in Space.
Yeah. But very rarely do you get something like in this kind of underwater setting. And I feel like it's extremely unexplored and incredibly rich for what it is. So
yeah. That's what petrifies me about it is how unexplored it is. I mean, we talk about the unknown of space, and there's so much unknown just right here on this planet under the water.
And you see, I'm the total opposite. Space scares the shit out of me, and I wish I was born a fish. So.
If you were both smart, you'd be terrified of both. Like,
yeah, well, I am.
We don't belong in either.
I'm terrified
this
of birds.
True. I'm so
understandable.
Glad Dalton said that. You want to know why? Fuck all of you in the chat who make fun of me for hating Jaws. That is why I don't really like Jaws very much. Everyone in that movie deserves it. You're in the shark's territory. Leave Bruce alone.
It's true.
That's what that bitch gets at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, they brought it on themselves. Absolutely.
You brought it on yourselves. So anyway, so my question, I'm very interested in the creative process. And something that my co-host and I have spoken about is writing a book together, because sometimes we get into these crazy rabbit hole discussions and we're like, oh man, we got to write about this, write out and this and that. So being that you guys co-wrote this, you know, was there ever a time where it was a struggle or ideas just didn't mesh well? You know, did you get...
Constantly, yeah.
You guys took it out.
That's our entire working relationship. Yeah.
I'm assuming you guys are friends.
Creative differences.
Yeah. No, we hate each other.
You hate each other.
We are professional acquaintances at
Gotcha.
and I want that on record.
Okay.
No.
Dalton was in my wedding party. I was not in Dalton's, but that's because it was only his good friends and not me. And I'm still bitter.
It was only my brother in my
not
wedding
bitter
party.
at all.
Okay.
Wait, was Ryan not there?
Would you
I thought
at
Ryan
least
was
an
there.
usher?
Ryan and Lizzie.
No, if we're talking wedding parties, it was just my brother and her sister, and that was it.
Oh, gross.
So we didn't have to pick any friends, Wells. No.
That's actually really smart.
Wells is just like, I didn't want to go anyway.
Yeah.
Sounds lame.
It was an outdoor wedding in Christmas.
Oh, Lord.
It's beautiful. What are you talking about?
It was a beautiful ceremony. It was a beautiful. It was also freezing cold.
Okay, it was Arkansas cold. Get over it. No. What was the
question? Live in Miami. I don't even know what Arkansas cold is.
This is how we work. This is the answer right here. Yes. No, actually, Depths. The first draft that because I was writing Depths before I even brought it to Wells, and it was dead in the water. Pun fully intended. Like I got to maybe chapter 4 and it just stopped working, and I just put it away, and I was like, all right, I guess I got as far as I'm going to get with the story. I'll move on to whatever's next. And we were kind of workshopping. We met up for some drinks, and I mentioned that I was working on Depths, and Wells was like, can I take a look at that? That sounds really cool. And he like brought it back to life, and he found out what wasn't working, and we were able to start spitballing from there and make the book what it is. I mean, we've had quite a few instances where we're just like exhausted on like the ride back home, and then we just start like spitballing ideas, and we make entire graphic novels in the car ride. Like it's kind of all over the place.
Nice.
Is that that good?
I'm gonna get you.
Is that the siren call of Chicago?
Oh, is that, you can hear that? It's Chicago, all right? They're common. They're frequent.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Perfectly timed.
Yeah, there was. Well, by the way, just to let all our people know in the chat that the Kickstarter page is pinned in the chat. As much as we try to keep the illusion, unfortunately, this is pre-recorded, which is why there were no shout-outs, but I can imagine everyone that's probably going to show up for this.
I thought you did shout-outs.
You know what I mean when we shout out the
Patreon.
chat, not the patrons.
So those people don't have to pay to get shout-outs? Wow.
We're getting a
Oh
comment
my
right now.
God.
Who are these clowns, and how dare you waste all of our
Oh,
time?
wait until you see.
That's
the
the
lovely
comment about
people.
us, trust me.
Yeah, we're the clowns.
They're wondering why you guys are here. It's like, come on. Have you really sunk to such depths?
Guys, you're better.
Dalton has left the chat.
Dalton.
Oh man.
All right.
Gotta have some dad
This-
jokes. It's okay.
This is a
Yeah.
great interview.
So, are you guys? I mean, why comics? What makes you guys? Are you fans? Do you
What else am I gonna
Yeah,
do with my
you
life?
collect? Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
No.
for Dalton, it was like always comics.
Yeah.
When we met, he was like, "I'm gonna write comics," and I said, "Gross."
Okay.
And eventually, he brought me around, both in craft and in like practicality, as like a way we could effectively write stories. Because I've always wanted to be a writer. That's sort of always been my deal. And I was doing a lot of short stories and novels and stuff. And I don't know if you tried to publish a novel in the year of our Lord 2023, but it's not great out there. No, but Dalton was, insistent about comics being the way forward, and we started working together, and I've never looked back.
Yeah.
It's given me.
Didn't help that neither of us could draw, but we didn't let that stop us.
No, that's good
But
though.
it's
That's
not
great.
just about the art, though. I mean, the art
Yeah,
I think
no.
is
The
a
art
It'll
is
piece
the
of
most
enhance
important
it,
part.
No,
Dalton,
no.
shut up! They're trying to compliment us.
There are plenty of
They
plenty
haven't
of
read
books
us. They don't
that
know.
look terrible that I appreciated the story.
We're grown-ups.
of,
We don't
so.
need picture books anymore. I mean, again, the
Yeah,
art
you
is
know.
gorgeous, but it's there to
Mhm.
enhance the story. So if
Yeah.
the story
There
is
to
great,
tell the story.
yeah, that
It is.
too.
No,
Quit
Yeah,
picking
it's true.
fights, Dalton. I swear to God.
I will go to bat for artists every single time.
No, me too.
They are the most important part of the comic.
So is
No,
that
it's
what
true.
drew you to comics? Was the art initially?
Well, also the guys in the funny outfits, like those were cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he liked
but
the
no,
tiny
I was
whiteys,
yeah,
just like
I
you,
was
Josh.
I was 8 and Spider-Man looked cool, and so I was
Yeah.
like, and then literally a guy in tidy whities with Captain Underpants. So like,
The underpants.
yeah, so
Yep.
like it was all the colorful superheroes, and they looked cool, and then the fact that the stories were good, like 40% of the time, was a plus.
I'd say that's a-
40%.
It's
It's a pretty
superhero
kind
com-
average,
it's-
yeah.
It's superhero comics, like it's come on.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one. But no, it's so you would say it's the visual aspect of the storytelling that kind of brought you to it initially.
Yeah, and just it's such a unique medium, and I love the marriage of words and text, and heck, even without the text, like comics are gorgeous. No, it's all I've ever wanted to do is comics, and I don't know, never really thought about doing anything else, which is just a testament to my blind optimism. So yeah. Okay.
So do you discuss
gotta
the
keep that
imagery a
passion.
lot during your during the creative process?
Oh
What's- yeah, it's
usually
more,
starts as like
one image, like that one behind
really
your head
striking image. Yeah.
is where this book started. That's the
Okay.
image where it started.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
I knew that. No. No, it has a very abyss vibe to it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
thank you. That's what I was thinking of. Yes. Yes, it does.
Or sort of John
Now-
Carpenter's The Thing, you know. It's like
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Another movie essentially about isolation, even though it's a group of people, still they're completely isolated with this thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
can
they're
totally
isolated
relate.
by their paranoia,
Right.
which is I
Are
could
you
go
the
on
thing?
and
Are
on
you
about-
the thing? Are
it's-
you the thing?
And you start
Yeah.
to like really question yourself in the like. You know,
Am I the thing?
yeah, you're like
Yeah.
No, I definitely the like we're hacks and everything. All of our influences kind of bleed onto the page, but you know, it makes for a richer experience, I think.
I've
I'm
met
really
subtle
enjoying
writers,
your
and they're all
modesty.
boring.
I really like I've been watching Barry, which is
Fantastic
HBO
show.
Yeah, it's a beautiful show.
Yes.
Um,
Absolutely.
and just casually
He's
on
not
YouTube,
caught
I'll
up,
pull
so
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
gonna spoil anything.
Okay.
But I will like listen to like Bill Hader give interviews, and he's always talking about like, yeah, we're always trying to come up with these like unique ideas and cool, you know, looking things, and I'm always pulling out really obscure references for the camera. And then you watch it and you're just like, wow, he sure does like the Coen brothers. It's like
Yes.
it's kind of how I feel. I read it and I'm like, wow, you really okay, yeah, you really like Brian Lee O'Malley. You really like
Oh
you
yeah.
really like
No.
Alan Moore.
Oh my god.
and Grant Morrison.
But there's nothing wrong with seeing your influences. I mean, I still think it's a very unique and original idea, honestly. I'm
Subtleties
excited
for
to read it.
cowards.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Huzzah.
Yeah.
Okay, really quick. Everyone in the chat. If you've never seen Barry, go get Max, which used to be HBO Max, and watch
Oh,
it.
yeah, that thing.
It's
Yeah, it's done.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
I know Bill Hader's known for SNL and Stefan and all that shit and, you know, Hot Rod, but watch Barry. It is
Great American
so
classic is Hot Rod.
good.
Oh,
Hot
yeah.
Rod's great.
Which let's be
Okay.
clear, go watch Hot
Oh,
Rod
yeah.
too, but
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, Hot Rod's awesome.
Barry
Watch
is
that
probably
first.
Watch Barry.
anyone who
went-
says Succession is the most interesting thing on television hasn't seen Barry. And
Yeah,
you-
yeah.
like,
I mean, I'm gonna watch Succession, but it really looks like a story that's probably already been told. But Barry is like such a unique. I don't even know how we got here. And Barry is such a unique.
Because we wrote Barry.
Yeah. Oh
No.
my god.
we are Bill Hader. We are the two halves of Bill.
With all powers
Alec
combined.
Berg. Oh my
I knew it.
god. You heard it here, folks. On Pop My Culture.
Inside
The real. Yeah. No, seriously, watch the show. It's gone from a dark comedy to like straight up horror at this point, and it's
Yeah, it's great.
wonderful.
Existential thriller.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now this is interesting. So we recently had another like comic book creator. Her name is Mindy Wheeler, and
Boo.
she
Sorry.
boobs.
I don't know her.
Boo.
Yeah, boobs. But she was the artist, and her husband was really the writer. So since you guys were both the writers, what was the process that you went through of going about explaining what you wanted from the artist and going about, you know, quote unquote, I guess, hiring somebody to
Yeah,
do the
did,
artwork
did you
for
just let him
guys?
read the material and kind of give
Yeah,
him his
and just give him an
impression, or
idea of like
did
We
you know
literally
exactly
text
how you
a
wanted
panel at a time
Mhm.
with an old T9 text system, and we hope that they decipher it. And Jay's great at it.
Wow.
Excellent.
I mean, I go by a very description heavy like
We're full
scripting
script.
process. Yeah.
Okay.
So I come from like a screenwriting background. Like that's what I was doing.
I was gonna say it would feel like
Okay.
a screenplay,
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah.
wouldn't it?
It is more specialized. Like it does break it down panel by panel, which was a hard thing for me to kind of fit into my brain at first. Oddly enough, was like, oh, if you're describing a comic page, you need to describe what's going on in every panel and how many panels are on the page and roughly how it's laid out. But yeah, no, it's just panel one. Darkness, panel two, a piercing light, and then sort of this describing if you're looking at the first page, we sort of describe, as we go down how Emil becomes more and more visible, and we reveal more and more of him as it happens. And sort of thinking about, like, you know, how is the bottom of the page different from the top of the page? How has the story progressed from that point on? What's going to happen when we turn the page? What information can be skipped or is implied versus what needs to be shown next? Yeah, the mechanics of it are really interesting, but ultimately we're just we're giving a blueprint to the person who's going to build it, which is Jay, the artist, and they're the one that really like builds out the world and makes it look like a real place instead of just, you know, words on a page.
And how many chapters is it?
It is technically 7 chapters,
Okay.
28 pages each, and then the last chapter is a double length.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
This campaign specifically, the first 4 chapters, though.
Yeah.
Okay. That was going to be my next question. Okay.
So you were talking about it being grounded in reality, as far as the imagery and the way the setting looked and felt. Like, how much is the story grounded, though? I mean, it takes place in the 1930s, and this guy spends 3 years underwater. Like, I mean, did you put a lot of thought into the logistics of that based on the time period, or is there a certain
yes and no
fantasy element to it, that little sci-fi?
The suit is definitely the magical element of the story. Like that,
because the main character made it, right?
Right. He and his best friend James created the suit, and it can allow you to stay underwater indefinitely, essentially.
Okay.
And so you have to smudge a little bit of math there to make that work. But once you accept the suit is real, then the rest of the world kind of falls into place around it. Like, that's the only thing out of the ordinary. The rest of the world kind of fits. And we did do our fair share of research in terms of like the economics of the time. What's
they
going
were
on.
bad.
They were bad.
Yeah.
It's the 1930s. Things are not going great.
Things are not great across the board. What's England look like? What's America look like? What are the fish talking in 1930s slang? Like, it's all over the place.
So
are they
his
weighing up
friend-
fedora?
Yeah, exactly.
Do they have a Tommy gun?
Suicide
Tommy
doors. But so the character James, the friend, is this the one that's searching for him while he's stuck underwater?
Yes.
Okay. How big of a part of the story is that? Is it more just kind of a little bit here and there, or is it
I'd say it's like
equally
half,
as important?
40.
It's the B story.
I'd say it's like
Okay.
45% of the novel is B story, is James and
Okay, so
searching
you're not
for Emil.
underwater the whole time.
Nah.
Yeah, that was the problem with the first draft.
That was part of the problem.
I can see, yeah. No, for sure.
It's just got very sort of, I don't want to say repetitive, but just like that. You just stayed there. It was very moment to moment. The pacing sort of ground to a halt. Whereas, when you have the ability to kind of cut away to something else, you can imply time jumps. You can build tension by saying, okay, we set up this juicy situation and we're moving away. You don't get to see necessarily how it resolves, at least not for now.
Right.
That sort of episodic style of storytelling can be really effective, and I like it a lot for what Depths is. Just building up to something juicy and then being like, and we're gonna deny you resolving it for right now. We're gonna wait until we come back, and you're gonna have to sit on the edge of your seat for a little while.
Do the stories feel completely separate, or are there times where it feels kind of like one is somewhat mirroring the other as far as the experience the characters are having?
I don't know.
That would have been smart.
If they
man,
mirroring.
we really should.
Question, honey.
No.
You gotta go
right
back.
Here.
You gotta go back and edit.
Campaign's canceled. We have to rewrite it.
No, that was sort of the
Third co-writer.
Oh, you're not getting credit. Jeez, I have to fight enough with this guy. Come on.
Understandable.
That's sort of the nerdy shit that I like about writing books like this is sort of like, you have these two seemingly like separated stories, temporally and physically, they're not near each other, but you get to sort of mirror the protagonist's state of mind and connect them that way, and have them, either doing, similar things at the same time or very opposite things at the same time and sort of create a dramatic irony that way.
Juxtaposition.
Yeah, that's fun to me as a writer. I enjoy kind of diving into that sort of dynamic. So yeah, it's all over the place in this book, and it probably is going to drive. Now that if you're reading this, now that you know that, you're probably going to read the book and go, "Oh yeah, I see what they're doing," and it's going to drive you crazy. But
sorry, I ruined it.
I hope it's clever.
I'm so done with you.
The rule is you're never as clever as you are annoying. That's the rule.
Facts, absolute facts.
Man, I wish I had the discipline to write. I've always wanted to write a book. I have always had something in my mind, one thing in particular, but for some reason I just can't sit down, and I don't know, maybe I have ADD because I can't seem to just sit down. There's some people who are like, okay, I'm going to commit to writing for an hour every day from this time to this time. And I'm like, I can't work that way. Sometimes the inspiration just has to hit. So was that ever the case with you guys, or did you literally do it like that, commit that we're going to meet up and sit and try and write, or, spitball whatever ideas we have?
Well, we almost never write together because that's a recipe for getting nothing done.
Yeah, we don't get anything done.
We just watch Star Trek
there's
and
too
yell
much
at each other.
fear and yelling, and it's too much. No,
it's the creative
we will get into like a 3 a.m. argument. Who's better, Superman or Batman? Let's go.
And it's always Superman.
No, it is not.
I might have
I'm
to
so
agree
glad I'm
with you on that one,
on this side above Wells because I'm a Batman girl.
He's
so.
Superman. Come on.
You like the baby Bat Boy? Okay.
Batman lost his parents. Superman lost his whole planet. Come on now.
Oh,
okay,
Superman is like invincible.
Let's not compare grief.
Whatever.
Okay. They're fictional characters. One just happens to be better.
They're real. Here, they're real. No, Batman Forever. Not the movie.
That explains a lot.
Not the movie. Oh god. No, so we
He's everywhere.
Thank you. We write separately, but we sort of come together and exchange notes and stuff. I think it's pretty much the exact opposite. For Dalton, he gets his initial creative spark just out of the way as quickly as possible. He'll sit down and write an entire series in 2 weeks. Drives me a tree. And then
I'm finding out in my my early 30s that I do in fact have ADD. So that explains the creative spurts and then the dry spells. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Whereas I, in theory, I'm a lot more consistent. I say in theory, I moved recently. I've been going through a lot of life changes, so I haven't been able to actually have a set routine of making. Sitting down for an hour and writing every day. But that is generally how I've operated for the past several years is 4 or 5 days out of the week, I go to a coffee shop or, find the
so
couch
you're that
behind.
guy at Starbucks.
Oh, absolutely. I am.
There on
I'm
the
not
laptop, just
not at Starbucks, but yes, I am absolutely that guy. Or I'll sit on that couch and close the door and lock everyone out and just for 1 to 3 hours, I will just hyper focus on whatever I'm doing, and then answer some emails.
Terrible for your back on that couch.
Oh, well, how about I'm going to write you a prescription for none of your damn business. And,
ooh,
have fun with the scoliosis.
I'll have you know my back is as spry as a 50-year-old's. No, but yeah, no. So it's interesting having kind of different takes on that, but ultimately, whatever works, and we managed to get some writing done. So we're doing something.
The books
great.
Get out the door, and that's the important thing.
Yeah.
That's what matters. Absolutely.
Let's show off some of the artwork really quick because I have the page up, and then of course I have the actual Kickstarter tiers.
Yeah.
Yeah, give us the lowdown, the low dizzy on all that.
Honey, please.
What? Hey, I'm cool.
No one talks anymore. What's wrong with you?
Did they ever?
No.
It's possible.
Can I wish I could get this to.
I wish.
No, not me.
No,
not
yeah,
me.
there
Not
you
me.
go.
No, no one wants to see that.
No.
Oh man. All right. Well, here.
I do like the cherry dress, I'll say. It's
Oh,
nice.
thanks.
Oh, not going to say anything about my cherry tie, huh? That's how it is. It's whatever.
So jelly. Well, here's some of the artwork here. So again, if you guys want to check out, what the story is all about and get a little taste.
I got the first 5 pages up there for you.
Yeah, the
Free of
Kickstarter.
charge.
Oh, the Kickstarter is pinned here. I'll scroll really quickly. Haha, you got to see the rest by going. No, really. I mean, that was the first thing. I mean, and it's true. It is amazing how much I think as humans, obviously, we're more visual people. So for me, when I first looked at the Kickstarter page, that was the first thing that stood out to me was, my God, this is gorgeous. The artwork. Sorry, guys, that you're not the artists.
Oh no, that's
beautiful.
We work with artists that will make people think that, so it's very much intentional.
Did you focus primarily on telling the story through the imagery in order to try to limit the amount of dialogue that was on the page?
No, we have no discipline. We just throw as much shit on the page as we can.
He's not lying though. Like, especially with depths. Our first, this is riddled with captions and dialogue, and it's probably our most dense work because of it. But for the most part, we tend to get out of the artist's way when we can. But this is a difficult project for Nathan, our letterer, to be like, oh my God, would these guys just shut up for a second?
Working the man.
Mm-hmm.
I think we do, especially as we've matured as storytellers. We have learned to lean on the art a little bit more and tell the story visually the way you're supposed to in a comic. But yeah, I think Depths does do a good job of that. But it is just a little bit wordy, though. It's got a lot going on, and yeah, we needed the space to be able to tell it.
By the way, this was one of my favorite things to look at, which were the sketches.
Yeah, we kind of wanted to give people the feeling that they were like, peeking inside.
Part of the behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes sort of stuff. And give people since this is such a character-driven book, we wanted to give people like a more direct connection with the characters that are there and like who's going to be featured. And we didn't get a chance to show off Grace Martin, which is one of my favorite characters in the story.
Our third main character.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
New York reporter, very much trying to make a career for herself, but also like gets involved in this not plot, but accident that winds up putting a mill at the bottom of the ocean, and has to wrestle with her own sort of guilt about how she contributed to it, and eventually, becomes a part of James's plot to help find him.
What a
Okay.
bitch! No, I'm joking.
No.
Okay.
This is why we can't have nice things.
I'm sorry.
So,
No, and I
so
love that
take
you guys.
it-
I
so
love
that
that you guys put
story
this
kind
here.
of
The
eventually joins with the bee story. Then
Douglas.
Yes. Yes.
That's cute.
And then Douglas, who's
our good boy.
is so good.
Aw,
He is our good boy.
that is really great.
Yeah, we wanted to give Emil something to interact with, and like something, if it's all just doom and gloom and misery down there, then it's going to be a real drag to read. So
Right.
Giving a little bit of personality in the form of Douglas, we felt like was a good decision.
Hold up. I'm just noticing something that I didn't notice before. Please tell me that is a martini glass.
Yeah, Jay drew that in as a joke. And,
right here, people.
It is a martini glass, but
Yes.
he's drinking Miller Lite out of it. He has no class.
no,
Douglas is an animal.
Douglas.
God, it is really
Typical
gorgeous.
Douglas.
Typical. And of course, here are the rewards.
Yeah.
So please check out. Yeah, check out.
Yeah, we wanted to give people kind of a range of, if you want to support it, but that don't necessarily have a ton of money to throw at it, we can give you like the first chapter. The digital copy is available for $20, and then sort of your standard is the $30 tier, the paperback, if you want the physical book. The two most popular so far have been the $30 paperback and the $50 hardcover.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure the hardcover is absolutely beautiful.
I love a hard.
I like it hard.
We all like it a little hard.
Semi.
Semi?
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't get the job done.
No.
I will say, I did notice this, and I did actually want to thank you because unfortunately, especially with the way things are right now, which we won't get into because I don't like getting into that kind of stuff, but I do really appreciate that you have the pledge, without the reward, because
I think that does come just standard with.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it just automatically adds it, but
nice.
we'll give
I'll
you
take
guys
credit
credit.
for it.
No. Honestly, I'm only saying that, and I'd have to go back. This is not against Mindy because I really loved her. I don't remember seeing that with the boobs one. That's the only reason why. I don't know why it stuck out with me.
I'm pretty sure it was there.
I must have been distracted by her large rack. So
yeah, I was too, but that's why I was looking so intently at everything on the page. Yeah.
Well,
anyway.
I warned you guys before.
So back to tentacles.
Yeah. Back to the slightly less horny subject of steps. Yeah, all the physical tiers come with the digital copy, so you get that as well, and we'll be updating the digital copy as it progresses. Since it's a long project, we want to keep people kind of in the know. And then we got some stuff for if you really want to ball out, if you really want to do something special, you can get yourself drawn into the book as a minor character.
Oh, that's so cool.
As a background character, as an extra with a line, or as a minor character. So you can have up to a whole scene with dialogue that revolves around you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Are tentacles involved?
Jesus.
That
Don't
costs extra.
encourage him by answering.
It always does.
It always does. Oh Lord. Oh, look, early bird.
Yeah, we always encourage our former backers and early adopters with early bird tiers. So sign up.
Very cool,
follow us so that you can hop onto the next one, get some save some money.
How long will the Kickstarter be going?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask.
It ends at the end of May, Wednesday the 31st at 6:15 p.m. So.
Central Standard
We really got you
Central
guys
Standard
at the
Time.
tail end of the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Well, you were talking about the digital copies. Do you guys have a preference, digital or?
I'm
you
always
prefer a physical.
I'm a
copy?
physical.
If I can get my hands on a book, I will absolutely.
Yeah,
if I can afford to get my hands on a book, I 100% want to.
Always good to offer the digital copy.
I mean, it's nice for
those
convenience, but
Yeah,
convenience,
some
yeah,
people
some
have gotten
don't
used
have
to
the
just reading
space.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I know so many people at like my local shop who they only buy I don't know, the one Spider-Man book because that's what they collect, and then everything else is digital because they just don't have the space for all that nonsense. But no, digital is always a nice alternative if you don't want to just I don't know why you wouldn't want to hold a book in your hands, but I'm an old fogey.
I like the comfort of the physical book.
No, I completely agree.
I'll yell at clouds all day about books,
Confession. I only have one book series digital, and that's only because, like most women, I didn't want to be holding it up, and that was 50 Shades of Grey. So I could read it wherever and not.
You needed hands
Howard.
on that one, right?
Wanted to get that out there.
Had to have your digits available.
May I say,
thumbing pages? You were thumbing out other
if
things.
you want that, get the audio book.
I know, right?
I hear
Have that
Gilbert
too.
Gottfried does a great job on the audiobook.
Oh my God, that would be brilliant.
I would love to hear that. I would love to. We actually did a reading, him and I, for a
I was
charity.
gonna say, it
stream
would be
that
much
we
better
were-
than our
Right.
excerpt that we did.
It was
Yeah,
hilarious.
That said, if you're looking for
So stupid.
quality smut, may I?
Yeah, I was
introduce
about
you
to say.
Oh, you guys should read Sunstone. That is quality smut.
Oh yeah.
Where's my pen?
Yeah, write this down.
Oh, there it is. See? True writer, always a pen around.
Absolutely.
What's it called?
Sunstone. If you put it into Twitter or Google, you will immediately find it. It is.
I'll find it.
It is lesbian
Quality
bondage with some
Oh.
I think there's some supernatural elements to it, but it's good. Trust me. It's
Every
the-
single male in our chat room right now
Immediate. We have completely forgotten what we were talking about.
I was going to say, we're supposed to be selling your book. Don't.
Depths, what?
Look, eventually we will get on the smut game, but right now we can only be purveyors of other people's smut. So
I just lost my light.
Yeah, that's what you get. So what you guys have other projects? So what other stuff are you working on?
Yeah, do you guys have anything else that you guys are doing together or
You said you
separately
have
maybe?
some ongoing series.
Always working on something.
Yeah.
No, we've got we have that Descent into Dread anthology through Caliber Comics. If you know your shop should be able to order that. We also do another Kickstarter book, Frankenstein the Unconquered, which is Frankenstein with a broadsword, very Conan the Barbarian, killing a bunch of monsters.
Is that the one that we saw? That's the one that we saw. That we're like,
for that. And I was,
awesome.
I totally got those
great.
Conan vibes from it. Yeah, absolutely.
No, we love making Frank. It's super over the top, super metal. And in that same vein, our other book, Mechaton, is also super over the top, but it's all ages, and it's got giant robots punching giant kaiju. And that one's actually coming out through Scout. Issue 1 hit shelves in
Last
March.
month.
Yeah.
It was like early April. It wound up coming out.
Oh yeah, it got delayed. And I think the trade of that should be coming out later this year as well. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Cool.
But yeah, and then of course we're always working on everything after Depths, and we've got solo projects as well as collaborative projects. So there's we have binders of stuff to get through before we die. So like we can't.
Every time you say binders of ideas, I always remember Mitt Romney saying binders of women. I don't. It's such a weird deep cut, but that is what my mind goes to when you say that.
There are women in those binders. They're all fictional. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
I'm about to start work on a new book with Rachel Disler, actually, that is very like Princess Bride by way of Revolutionary Girl Utena. So if you're very into like lesbian romance adventure, you will like this one a lot. But yeah, that one's. That
totally
one is
my genre. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, that one is coming to Kickstarter after Depths at some point when my mental health allows me to get back on the horse. Which who knows when that might be? But
is there?
I understand completely.
is there a potential for a continuation of Depths at all? Is there?
We still got to do book 2
spinoff, or but I mean
after like the 7 chapters.
Yeah.
Yes and no. Like we're not. I think we're pretty
Emil's
hard
story's
about
done.
we're not really going back to Emil and like that story. And by the time you read the end of Depths, you're going to be like, yeah, no, for sure, it's over. It's done.
Okay.
But we do have stories that are like kind of in the
world.
Same world and are influenced by the events of what happens in Depths. And we're really excited.
Kind of
so a little bit of a spin-off spiritual sequel kind of
thing. I call them spiritual successors. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Very cool. Wow. Well, this has been absolutely wonderful. I'm
thank you.
Really happy that we were able to reschedule because we were so bummed when this couldn't happen last Saturday because we were very excited to talk about the the graphic novels. So, guys, where can people find you on social media if you have social media, of course?
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, Kickstarter. Go to Kickstarter.
Yes, please.
That's like we almost always have a comic running, so you can pick up all of our stuff there. I am on Twitter for as long as it remains functional at Wells Thomp. It's just my name minus the last 3 letters. We have a newsletter called Comics, Cats, and Cocktails where we talk about all those things. You can find the sign up for that in either of our Twitter pages. My website, which is wellsthompson.com, which also has links to all my other books. I have a Ko-Fi where you can buy me a cup of coffee or buy my books either way. ko-fi.com/wellsthompson. And I think that's it. I have some TikToks if you're into that, but like TikTok is weird, so I don't even know.
Screw TikTok.
Yes, it is.
Now you can find me anywhere on the internet at Dalton K. Shannon, whether that be socials or the website. Thankfully it wasn't taken anywhere, so I got the
it's a bad name.
Spread.
Yeah.
It's a bad name.
I wasn't going to say it, but I may have thought it.
You know what? I'm the
Well,
only one that comes up when they do it.
We have the best moderators in our chat room, so they are dropping, links like crazy so everyone can follow you guys and keep up with all of you.
And
Again, the
Kickstarter will
Kickstarter
be
page
pinned.
is pinned at the top of the chat, so please, please check it out.
Yeah,
We
at
have
present we have like $9,000 to go.
Yeah.
So by the time this drops, it'll be like in the last 5 days. So
come
if
on,
it sounds
guys.
interesting
throw
to
money
you, we
at it.
need your help.
Let's go. Come on. I know we have one friend in particular. He goes by the name Salacious Rum, and he was definitely interested in this Kickstarter. So he'll be happy to know that we're finally dropping
I
this
am
on Saturday.
too.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's really beautiful. Really great job, guys. I mean,
Well,
even
thank
if
you.
no, I mean, honestly, to just have that sense of accomplishment. I
Mhm.
know you would love for it to go somewhere, but just to say that you got this done is an achievement in itself.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it's more than I'm sure a lot of people have done. I mean, look, I haven't written anything, so
Yeah,
You have an award-winning show. What are you talking about?
What? You're too kind.
Yeah. We need shovels after that one.
Well, guys, thank you very much. We're just gonna stick you in the green room really quick so we can say goodbye to everybody. So if you just want
Thanks
to
for having
hang
us.
out really
Don't
quick,
put me back
yeah.
there. Not again.
No,
Not
I'm sorry.
again.
Underwater. Bye.
Nobody puts wells in the corner.
Okay, guys. If you can just chill really quick in the green room, we'll just wrap up the show. Okay, well, that was really, really wonderful, guys. I
Absolutely.
hope you've enjoyed tonight's show. Again, thank you to all our new Patreons. If you want to join our Patreon, go ahead and check it out. We got 3 tiers. You can sign up for as little as $1. I have all sorts of stickers and magnets and all sorts of goodies that I can send your way depending on which tier you pick. And
Only $1, guys. We're cheap tricks.
yeah, we are
Okay.
cheap, man. Yeah, we don't cost much. Come on.
We'll give you whatever you want.
Exactly. He aims to please.
Mhm.
But no, seriously.
Yes,
go
I
ahead
do.
and check it out. Yeah. I don't really have anything else coming up except the Lego stream on Sunday. You are like a
I have
busy bee
work.
right now. Yeah, you have work. You have no life right now. So
But I'm
guys, guys, thank you so much as always for being in the chat. Again, please, please, please help these guys out. They were an absolute pleasure. And guys, thank you again for watching Pop My Culture. And let's take them out.
Stay
with the
sticky.
Sith Chinchilla.